show you how I made a delicious and hearty soup completely from scratch. Here are most of the ingredients that I chose to use today. The ones I could say that are more optional would be the leeks, the tomatoes, and probably the jalapenos. I did include a couple more later on. We're gonna put some oil in the pan. I chose bacon grease, and then I wanna get my kielbasa sausages really nice and crispy. You're gonna see what that looks like here in just a second. Really nice and golden brown, right? Ugh, so good. An important element of this soup for me was that I had different types of texture. So I really wanted it to get nice and crispy. Next, after the sausage, I went ahead and put in my thinly sliced chicken. To get it nice and thinly sliced, I recommend you still slice it while it's basically frozen. I did coat it in some cornstarch as well, and I like to do that because later on it'll help the soup thicken. But if you want this to be truly more keto friendly, go ahead and leave that out. Once the chicken is about 50% cooked, I know it looks weird, but go ahead and take it out. We will cook it later. I'm gonna add in some grapeseed oil, and now some onions, celery, and carrots. Lastly, we add in the leeks as well. Make sure all of that gets nice and softened, and it should look something like this. Once we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the garlic. You don't wanna add that too soon because it may burn. And then add in your jalapenos. I added some kosher salt, and I think I added about 6 cups of water. Once you add in the water, I'm gonna go ahead and put a lid on and let that come up to a boil, about like this. And then it's time to add in the seasonings. Feel free to screenshot this so you can see all the seasonings that I decided to add into the soup. Now it's time to add back in the chicken. I'm gonna add in my spinach and some kale. This is that hearty part of the soup to me. And let it all cook. It should look a little bit something like that. And I decided to add in a little bit of heavy cream, maybe like a couple tablespoons, really wasn't a whole lot. This is the time to add back in your kielbasas once everything's cooked a little bit. And add in our tomatoes. I opted for roasted tomatoes because I didn't want it to be a tomato soup. I wanted the tomatoes to be an element of the soup. So here's everything once it's done, and I let it cook for about another 20 minutes. And that's the soup. It is so good, you guys. Please give it a try. Let me know if you like it.